Paying for college can be very stressful, and even more so just trying to figure out where to begin. Some websites might tell you to fill out the FAFSA as soon as you can, while others might tell you to never touch it at all. Hi, my name is Wiley. I work with Athena AI, a company whose sole purpose is to help you with everything college, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a list of things that you can do to either prepare or start to pay for college now. Firstly, before I get into the list of things, I just want to tell you guys the sources that my information is coming from, because I know that you probably want to know that you're not just getting this information from some random college student you've never met before. So my sources are NerdWallet, US News, and a website called Saving for College, which is super helpful. I'll list all three down below. Now, the first thing that I want to mention, and I said this kind of at the beginning of the video, you need to fill out the FAFSA as soon as you can. Out of all three of those sources I just said, all of them said that families usually underestimate how much money they can actually get from the FAFSA. Even if they've been saving for a long time, it's still worth it to fill it out, right? An example of this would be the graduating high school class of 2023, who missed out on $4 billion from the Pell Grant Foundation, which is essentially, the government's way of giving out need-based financial aid. They missed out on $4 billion of that because they didn't fill out the FAFSA. Like, that's so much money that they could have gotten, and it's because they didn't bother, right? So you should fill that out. There's a ton of money out there just waiting for you. I will make another video later this week about how to specifically fill out the FAFSA. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can subscribe, turn on post notifications for a week or something, and that'll probably come out this Friday, maybe next Wednesday or something. On top of the FAFSA, you should be asking your parents, or if you are a parent, you should be investing in a 529 account, right? This is a bank account that can only be used for academics, and any of your family members, whether it's grandparents, cousins, uncles, aunts, brothers, sisters, anybody can contribute to this account for you as a student. It'll go towards your education, and it won't take away from how much money you get from the FAFSA. Maybe if you have an obscene amount of money in there, it might, but usually it won't have any, if not no impact on your FAFSA money that you get. Another good reason to fill out the FAFSA is because most scholarships will require that you submit your FAFSA to them on top of another application like essay or activity or something, right? Another video that I'll be putting out, and I know I'm like plugging the future a lot, but is how to write a good scholarship essay. And this is going to be something that's really important for you to master, because you should be looking at scholarships right away. You can be looking at scholarships in your sophomore year, in your junior year, and even in your senior year summer, even into college. You should be looking at scholarships all the time because it's literally free money. Let's say you spend 5 hours writing an essay and you get $700. So if you want to know how to write one of those essays as best as you can, I'm going to be releasing another video probably next week about it. So make sure you subscribe and turn on those post notifications. As I was saying, scholarships can range anywhere from $50 all the way to a full ride, right? It depends on which scholarships. And there's so many scholarships out there. There are going to be local scholarships, national scholarships, scholarships for employees, depending on where you're working. I had this one in high school that was kind of stupid, actually, but it was like a duct tape competition about who could make the best like duct tape suit and then wear it to high school prom, and that was for like $500. I did not do that, unfortunately, but it ranges from something silly like that all the way to writing like a 10-page essay for like $50,000 or something. I cannot stress how important it is to be as fast and as thorough as you can in filling out those scholarships and submitting them, because even if you get 10 scholarships for $50, that's $500 that you just saved from having to take out a private loan or even a public loan, right? Like a dollar saved is a dollar that you don't have to borrow from someone else, and that is huge. The little amounts of money add up over time, and it really makes an impact on how much you owe in the future, how much debt you have. Now, to look for a scholarship, I would recommend looking around, local businesses, local organizations, but also checking in with your guidance counselor or the Department of Labor's scholarships list. I'll also link that down in the description, but they have a pretty good base of all of the scholarships that are pretty accessible to most students. The next thing I want to talk about is tuition reimbursement through your employer, and even getting a summer job, which you should all be doing, because now that you're in college or even in high school, having a full-time job or a part-time job in the summer will help you save up, even if it's just for money to go out with your friends on the weekends in high school or in college. But having that extra money from working in the summer also makes a huge impact on being able to pay for college. And I know that you're probably like, well, that's super obvious. But what's not obvious is that some employers will actually give you tuition reimbursement. I know Target has a system like this where they'll pay up to, I think it was $5,000 every year for people working there, depending on what school you're going to. $5,000 a year, although it might not seem like a lot compared to how much some colleges can cost, it's a pretty good amount. And again, it's $5,000 that you don't have to pay back. Most fast food restaurants also have some type of tuition reimbursement. And even if you're not working at Target or a fast food restaurant, it's good to just ask your employer if they have any type of tuition match or tuition reimbursement. Maybe they'll pay you a little extra now that you're in college. Just go out there, look for something from your employer. On top of getting a job in the summer or a part-time job during the school year, you can also look for a work study. You'll get qualified for a work study from the FAFSA. It'll say work study right there. when you get your reward package back, and then you can apply for that at your school. And some schools will have a work study in the summer. Essentially, a work study is just more financial aid that you get if you have a part-time job on campus, and they usually pay pretty well. But keep in mind that you actually have to work the hours to get the entire financial aid they offered you. So that means that you have to do more work on top of the homework that you already get, studying for tests and quizzes, that type of thing. But if that's something that you're open to, it's very worth it, and I would 100% recommend looking into a work study. I wanted to save this next point for last because all three sources that I mentioned earlier said that this was a last resort, and it's a private loan. The FAFSA, unlike a private loan, is going to offer income-driven repayment and loan forgiveness programs, which a private loan is not going to do. So I'm getting emails up the wazoo right now. I don't know why I said that. So if you need it, a private loan is definitely an option, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just going to be more expensive in the long run and not have as many opportunities for you to kind of wiggle around, right? It's not going to give you as much wiggle room. It's very set in stone. We'll give you this, but you owe us this much, in 8, 10, 12 years, that type of thing. I also want to list a couple things that are super quick, but I thought might be something to consider if you're really interested in saving as much money as you can or preparing for college. One option would be to look for a cheaper school, right? Like, I know that's super obvious, but let's say you get into a school that's $28,000 a year and one that's $60,000 a year. But the school that's $28,000 a year doesn't offer you any financial aid, while the school that costs $60,000 a year gives you $40,000 in financial aid. You want the one that's going to have the lower net cost, so that would be the more expensive sticker price school, the $60,000 school. I talked about this in an earlier video, and it's totally fine if you didn't watch that, but I wouldn't rule out applying to any schools or anything because their sticker price is so large. Because who knows, maybe you'll get a huge financial aid packet back and it's actually cheaper for you to go to that more expensive, better school, right? You could also take a gap year and work full-time somewhere. That would help you save and also apply to more scholarships. You could even take a couple classes from your local high school to help boost your college application a little bit. The last thing that I might have you think about is the ROTC program. There are kids that do it at every college. I know a lot of kids doing ROTC here at my college, and they all love it very much. But that's just another way that you could save a little bit on college. But that's something that you should definitely talk about with your parents before enlisting. Don't say Athena AI sent you to join the Army. I'm not saying that you need to go do that. I'm just saying it's an option. All right, I hope you guys have a better idea how to pay for college. If you have any questions, please let me know down below, and I will try to get back to you as fast as I can. Again, I'll be making a video about the FAFSA this Friday, and probably next Wednesday there will be a video about how to write the best scholarship essay you can. So if you're interested in either of those, just remember to subscribe and hit that post notification button so you don't miss out on the best college tips from Athena AI. I'll see you on the next one.